and it's going to take time to know the final result.
You know, this is an election result where the last thing you want to do is make any conclusive predictions because of that figure and the fact that the vote is so fragmented at the moment. Pavan Varma, a former member of Parliament, JDU with us, Charan Singh Sapra of the Congress. But Pavan Varma, to you first. You've known Nitish Kumar well. Many people were writing off Nitish Kumar after the exit polls. Clearly, he has a possible chance of returning historically because no chief minister in North India has been there for as long as 20 years if he wins another 5-year term. Do you think that's possible? Have we prematurely written off your old friend Nitish Kumar?
First of all, I haven't written him off. And I have not spoken throughout the Bihar elections. In fact, yours is the first television channel where I'm breaking the silence among other channels today. So I want to say to you two things. First of all, Nitish Kumar's residual public support for governance should never be written off. He was a transformative agent for ground level change of a magnitude Bihar had not seen, and I think that dividend is something that he can still call out for. Secondly, I think that it's unfortunate that Nitish Kumar and the JDU, which at one time called the shots and was the leading party in Bihar, may be reduced this time to the third position. So clearly, therefore, there were two elections going on here. One was between the NDA and the Gathbandhan, and another less visible election was also going on between, competition was going on between the BJP and the JDU, and in my view, the BJP has achieved what it had wanted to do, which is to form the government, but Mr. Nitish Kumar cut down to size.
That's an interesting observation you're making. You're suggesting a conspiracy theory of sorts of the BJP, downsize Nitish Kumar and at the same time become the party of power in Bihar in a way. Swapan Dasgupta, you go along with that, this theory which has been doing the rounds, that the BJP would like at some stage in the next 5 years a chief minister of their own, downsize Nitish, allow a Chirag and others to target him, win the election, but with a downsized Nitish.
Well, you know, like all theories, it bases itself on the assumption that, you know, people can be manipulated at will, that voters are inanimate objects, that they decide according to instructions.
No, I'm just telling you what Pavan Varma seems to suggest.
Pavan, maybe, you know, that might be an aspiration as far as some of the erstwhile loyalists of the JDU are concerned. Now, the JDU happens to be in alliance within the NDA. And they complement each other. There are some times when the BJP strength goes up, sometimes it goes down.
Is there let me be more direct. Is there any real chemistry between Narendra Modi and Nitish Kumar? I mean, does Narendra Modi really want Nitish Kumar in any form to continue for an extended period, or would he prefer a BJP chief minister at some stage in Bihar?
Look, at present, Nitish Kumar is a significant player in Bihar. Nitish Kumar, despite various pressures on the BJP stuck by him very faithfully, even making the commitment that regardless of how he performs, Nitish Kumar is going to be the chief minister of Bihar. Now, you want to look at what are their personal chemistry between them. Now, I believe that the personal chemistry between Nitish Kumar and Narendra Modi has improved significantly from the time when Nitish Kumar was unfortunately misled into believing that Modi's entry into the BJP as a prime ministerial candidate would signal a complete defeat of that. And we also know the people who were responsible for that misconception.
So you're not referring to Pavan Varma there, right?
No.
You're not referring to Pavan Varma as old ally there.
My very good friend Pavan Varma.
He's your very good friend. You heard Pavan very quickly, Swapan Dasgupta suggesting, look, these conspiracy theories that the BJP wants to downsize Nitish Kumar while retaining power are what they are, which is conspiracy theories.
Inside the tent rather than outside the tent.
Pavan, quick response to Swapan Dasgupta. He says you're floating conspiracy theories.
You know, no, I'm just saying that Swapan is well-intentioned if he believes that was not what the BJP wanted, but that's what is there on the ground to see. There was a time when Mr. Nitish Kumar was the primary party with the BJP as the secondary party within the larger alliance. And over a period of time, and I'm telling you that Mr. Chirag Paswan's role in this and the Prime Minister's silence on Chirag Paswan, who's fighting, abusing an NDA ally
A
while
conspiracy.
being
Okay.
a part of the central.
So you seem to maintain it's a conspiracy theory in some form. Okay, we'll see whether that conspiracy theory. Politics is a game of shatranj, of course. We don't know whether the aim was to checkmate. Yes, very quickly, please.
I will dilate on it later if we meet in the evening, but I want to say this election is very much about the key issue of governance and the absence of alternatives to Mr. Narendra Modi's popularity. I don't believe Tejaswi fitted that bill in the minds of, if these trends are right, and I could be wrong, in the minds of a large number of people of Bihar, and in that sense, Bihar is the microcosm of the nation itself.
That's an interesting point, that even if there is a mood for change, Tejaswi, according to you, may not necessarily fit into that agent of change for Bihar. He isn't quite the answer to Biharis who are looking for an alternative to Nitish Kumar. We've got lots of guests. Quick